Okay. All right. Karen, is my microphone? Are we on? Are we good to go? We are. We're good. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Yo, what's going on, Arkansas Razorback fans? You can see my eye. Gonna have to cover that up with the shades. The eye is still driving me crazy. I don't know what's going on. Wow. Did not expect this to happen today. As you can see, I'm just a hot mess. I'm just a hot mess, y'all. And this news, incredible. Incredible. For him to hold out this long. August 1st, he had 2 days. Excuse me. He had 2 days. And he decides he's going to be a Razorback once again. Gotta love it. Oh my goodness. It's just so great. So, I'm not going to get into my projected starting five. I'm not doing that because I just want to revel in the moment. This is huge. What Isaiah Joe does for this team, for the roster, the depth, you stretch the court. The gaps, they're going to be there. The spacing, it's going to be there. The guys down low are going to benefit. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say, Elite Eight, Final Four, here we come. I'm not doing that because I've learned my lesson from trying to do that, from trying to project, right? There's still some unknowns. We've had guys come in highly rated, 4-star, 5-star, and they take a year or two, and maybe 3 until we really start to see. So, but still, with Isaiah Joe coming back, you get leadership, you get experience, and you get a guy that, like I said, he just does so much for this roster. The starting five is going to be one of the best in the SEC. Maybe even one of the best in Power 5. Like, if you do not have the Razorbacks projected somewhere in the top 15, I don't know what you're doing, kid. Coaches, Associated Press, what are you doing? The disrespect to the Razorback basketball program ends this year. It ends. That is something I will project. This is huge. Again, I'm not saying this is Final Four, Elite Eight. But this is exactly what Eric Musselman needed for year 2. It's what this roster full of youngsters needed. It's young, talented players. It's what we needed. It's what the Razorback basketball program needed. My God, does basketball need to happen this year or what? I swear. And you had all these fantastic games that were going to be played in Fayetteville for the football program. And, you're not going to get to go to play up north with Notre Dame in South Bend. You're not playing at Chiefs Stadium. You're having to play this football game down in freaking don't get me wrong. Kyle Field, blah, blah, blah. Give me the house that Jones built any day. Okay, and don't get me wrong, recruiting, you want that to be a home and home and everything, but it's just not been, 2020 has been an awful year. Sports related and, everybody's health and COVID and everything. Yeah, those matter. But did Arkansas fans need this or what? Did the Razorback fans need this or what? It's a cortisone shot, baby. Or an adrenaline rush. Did you get your testosterone shot? Because if you didn't, this did it. This is huge. I did not see him coming back. I really didn't. And the closer we got to Monday, I was like, it ain't happening. You wait out this long. My man is not coming back to Fayetteville. And here he is. He's back. He's back, baby. It's going to be awesome. I'm wearing my shades because this eyeball just continues to just leak fluids. It's not tears of joy, but it ought to be. I'm really excited. Jacob Botwinick, what's going on, my man? Mike Howard. Let's just hope they get to play ball this season. I couldn't agree more. Matt Washington says, Final Four, baby, dark horse. Maybe they should be. Maybe not Final Four, all right? But Sweet 16, dark horse. Yeah, I think the question will be, is that fair? Is that fair to put that on this young roster? A year you're not going to have Mason Jones. Connor Vanover's finally going to get his taste of SEC basketball. All the youngsters, Moses and KK and those guys, is it fair? They do it at other schools, man. You got to be prepared for that. They do that at Kentucky. They do it at Duke. They do it at North Carolina. I get it. Those schools have the pedigree. I understand. But when you look at the talent on this roster with Isaiah Joe, you've got to be prepared to take that on. Musselman's got to be prepared to take that on. I think he will be. And these kids need to be. You're in the big leagues now, baby. It's the big leagues. This is huge. That's okay. We will take him. I don't know what you're talking about. Celtics for life. This is a game changer for the season in so many ways. Imagine a backcourt of KK, Joe. We go from borderline NCAA tournament team to easily could be talking round 32, maybe dark horse Sweet 16. That's where I'm at. I think they ought to be a dark horse Sweet 16. I think that should be the expectations. I mean, we saw what this team was when Isaiah Joe was hurt last year, and then when he wasn't on the court. And when he came back, it took him some time. But this was bound, like you knew when he got in rhythm, when he got hot and he's stretching the court, he's forcing the gaps and the spacing on the floor, which he just does by default. He's like a nuclear deterrent for defenses. Forces them to switch up 2-3. What do we do? How do we guard this guy? How do we back him off the perimeter? What's that going to do? Think about what this did last year. Think about what it's going to do this year when you actually have depth and size inside. Oh, my. Huge. Sweet 16, I guarantee it, says Mike Howard. I'm not guaranteeing anything. But I think that's okay to put. I think that's okay. I think those expectations are okay. Justin Smith and Vance Jackson plus Joe would have been a win without the Fab Four, in my opinion. What up, Ty? What's up, Hoyt? Allen? Lords_Patriot. How you doing? Musselman could be looking at less than 10 losses this year. Woo Pig Suey, says Hoyt. Tripp says, what? What? He's back? Yes, sir. Alex Henderson, what's up? Mike Howard, we needed this so bad. I couldn't agree more. Let's just hope they get to play. I get that. I'm on board with you. I feel like basketball happens this year. I do. I feel like I'm not going to make any projections here, but everyone on this team will play pro somewhere after college, says Matt Washington. I don't think that's outlandish to say. And when was the last time you could even speculate to something like that with the Razorback roster? It's been some time. It's been some time since you've been able to say, yeah, I think that's legitimate. At least the starting five absolutely have the talent level or the skill and the ceiling to play in the NBA. That doesn't necessarily mean, be all-stars, but at least bench or rotate. I think they're that caliber. Maybe a couple of years in the Gs, whatever, in the G Leagues. I get it. And then maybe, but there's no doubt in my mind, I think that that's the caliber of players that they are. Now, a lot's got to happen. They got to transition their game from high school to college. That doesn't always happen. In football, it's very hard to translate your game in some positions, in some leagues, and depending on the coaching staff that you have, it's hard to do. It's hard to translate your high school game to college. We know that. That's obvious. But it's challenging in basketball, too. Those guys have got to rise to the expectations. Yeah. But I don't think that that's outlandish to say that at least the starting five, there's absolutely a shot that they could potentially down the road at least make an NBA roster or maybe even spend some time in the G Leagues, maybe overseas. Who is better than Arkansas in the SEC right now? I don't count LSU at all, and nor should you. Those bag of cheaters. We're going to need some solid inside play. And I think you're going to get that. You've got the size. You're going to have I've heard the one thing you might want to keep an eye on is aggression, like their ability to play physical down low, to actually get mean and physical down low might be something they're going to need to work on a little bit. But the raw talent is there. It is absolutely there. As if there already wasn't enough to be excited about, right? COVID, get the hell out, because basketball time because it's basketball time in Arkansas. What'd the pastor do a few months back when COVID hit? COVID-19. Get out. Get out. Okay? We want people to be healthy, right? I need to get healthy, no doubt about that. We want people to be okay, all the serious stuff. And then, side note, we want sports in Arkansas basketball. This season is desperately needed. Joe with the pick and pop to Vanover, Moody to Jalen. There's so many combinations that teams aren't going to be able to stop. With Joe back, who is the starting five in your opinion? I'm not there yet. I don't want to break down a starting five just yet. There's so many options. There's so much you can do here. You've got the size factor. How do you factor Vanover on offense and defense? There's too many questions. I think Monday I'm gonna try and sit down. Maybe tomorrow if I have time. I'm gonna try and get this thing stretched out and figure out. Okay, here's what I think. Here's your five. And I held out on this because I still had this little tiny bug in the back of my brain that said there's a possibility that Joe could come back. So let's just hold off until we know. But I did assume, absolutely, I was 90% sure, not 99, but 90% sure he was going. So I just said, let's wait. Let's wait. Now, Sunday, maybe even today if I get time, I'm going to sit down. I want to go over this roster. I also would love to look at the rest of the SEC, but obviously that's gonna be a while before I'm able to do that. Let's see. Top three SEC this year will be Kentucky, Arkansas, and Tennessee. Tennessee is going to belong in that conversation. Tennessee is absolutely, and you have to argue, sadly, even though they're a pack of cheaters, LSU is going to be in there somewhere as well. Hog fan here, stationed in Honduras. Great stuff, Ty. Thanks for what you do. Hey, Scott, I appreciate you, brother. Deep roster will mean everything when every team will have sit-outs who is deeper. Yeah, you're going to have sit-outs. That's an absolute possibility. It is. No doubt about that. No doubt about that. Was at the games against Valpo, A&M, and Kentucky. Greatest atmosphere I've ever experienced, and I'm damn sure they'll be way better this coming season. Can you imagine if they allow 100% capacity? Hunter said for football they expect, I don't know if this is an expectation or what they're going to allow, but I think it's like 30% or 25% capacity. And we knew that. We've been saying that here for weeks, that if they let football happen, it's going to be like 25%, 30% capacity. If we're lucky, maybe 40. And here they are at 30. If COVID has gone down, way down, numbers are down, deaths are already, I don't want to get too far into that, but like they're low. The odds of actually dying from COVID are pretty low. But the odds of getting it, though, are high. But if those things dip, you could allow 100% capacity at Bud Walton. Could you imagine the atmosphere? Oh, my gosh. It's palpable. I'm hyped. This put me, I'm in there watching the Netflix documentary on the Killdozer. I think it's called Tread or something. It's about the guy that went crazy, built this Killdozer. I don't know if you guys have watched it. Look it up. It's crazy. Look up Killdozer on Google. It's a crazy story. I'm in there. My wife and I, we're eating lunch, and then I get text messages, my phone blowing up, DMs. You need to go live, brother. Isaiah Joe is back. I think starting five this year will be KK, Joe, Vanover, and Jalen. You never know. I'm excited. So excited. I'm elated. This needed to happen. Did you sleep in those shades? I might, Seth. I might. It'd make my dreams that much cooler. I'm wearing them because, again, look at this eyeball. Look at that bad boy. I mean, I don't know what's going on. I might have, I don't know, something's going on with the eyeball there. It's driving me crazy. I told you it was for the bright future of the Hogs. My glasses, the shades. You might have had a point there, Seth. I might have overlooked that. Fayetteville for every sport this year is, let's see. Fayetteville for every sport this year will one of the best game day experience in all the nation. I'm not going to go that far. Fayetteville, and it's not just Fayetteville, it's Little Rock too. The football's not been the best environment, but baseball and basketball, oh my goodness. Can you wake me up? Because I must be dreaming. I'm loving the Yes. I did not like. Let's pull that graphic up really quick. Can I find it? Oh gosh, I put it in the opening. There it is. There's the graphic, and of course I can't read it because the print on my screen is really small. Can I find it somewhere? Here it is. Okay, let me read it for you guys. Dear Razorback Nation, I have had an amazing couple of years. I mean, come on, you're reading this and you're like, yeah, he's gone. He's gone. You're reading this, it's like it's over. I've had an amazing couple of years at the University of Arkansas. Just like being in the NBA, playing at this school has been a dream of mine throughout my childhood. I couldn't ask for a better fan base, coaching staff, or teammates. I've created a bond with this place like no other. I mean, come on. Who is reading that and thinking, oh, he's gone? Everyone. He's got that picture of him doing I don't know what that is. Is he shooting a compound bow or a long bow? Is he playing Ghost of Tsushima on PlayStation? I'll put my reading glasses on here. As most of you may know, I entered my name into the 2020 NBA draft back in April. The whole draft process has been an incredible experience, and I am honored to be in the position that I am currently in today. I have not signed with an agent, so I am blessed to have the option to come back to school if I were to choose so. Okay. Heading in the right direction here, Joe. I know a lot of people have been waiting to hear my decision, but this has definitely been one. This has definitely been one not to be rushed. After all things considered, I have decided to play my next season at the University of Arkansas and continue my dream as a Hog. Woo, pig suey, brother. I appreciate everyone who has been in my corner and supported me throughout my career and during this quarantine. With that being said, there's still a lot to be accomplished, and I believe that it all starts here as an Arkansas Razorback. Hashtag the dream continues. The dream continues. I had to put on my reading glasses for that one. Let's put the... Gotta go back to the slickness here. Maybe I should just wear these every show. Maybe I should. Let's see. Tylus. I love that name. Tylus. Sounds like a name you'd like in Gladiator. Tylus the Great. Tylus Humphrey says we're going to have a really good team this year, brother. You ain't lying. Basketball and baseball, football will be on the rise. We hope. We hope. I will say I think football is at an all-time low. I think the hype and excitement is at an all-time low, and that's coming from a 37-year-old Hog fan who's been to a lot of games in Fayetteville, who's been born and raised in Fayetteville. And I'll tell you, the morale for football is low. It's really low. I hope this year starts a trend for the next few years, and then we can generate some excitement for football like we have for basketball right now. That's the dream, right? You want to be excited for all three sports, not just baseball and basketball. You want football. Let's be honest. Peyton Hillis was right about one thing. It is a football state. We love baseball down here. We love sports. But football is king in the South. Peyton Hillis was not wrong on that podcast where he was shit-talking the Razorbacks, okay? Loving the Dr. Disrespect shades. Two-time champion. Back-to-back. All right, okay, that's it. That was really it. I really only wanted to keep this at like 10 minutes, but I knew we would go beyond that. How long have we been going for? Like 22, so that's not too bad. 22 minutes. Okay. Yes! Tony Brown. I got to read Tony's comment, y'all. I got to read his comment. Yes! Now we just need Mason Jones to get drafted in the NBA. Well, I mean, he's going to get drafted. I think he gets drafted. I do. Well, I don't know. I say that. That's my emotional reaction to Isaiah Joe. Celtics for life. I thought he was gone when he said he was entering his name. Then Chaney transferred, and he and he would have gotten just some big minutes. He transferred, and I thought Joe was coming back. The other thing too that we haven't talked about really quick. This does actually put them over on scholarships. If you were wondering, it does. You're over. You're +1, as far as I know. Now, unless the administration can work some magic. I don't know I don't know what they do here. Does somebody transfer? Maybe. I don't know. But you are over 1, as far as I know. Again, maybe the numbers have been wrong. Ty, please make those shades a staple. Aren't they fantastic, though? An audience member actually got these for me. Told him I wouldn't say his name, but I don't know if he's here in live chat or not, but he actually ordered these for me. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to wear these as often as I can. I do not, however, wear them when I mow the lawn. I have my MIB, Men in Black sunglasses that my 5-year-old gave me that I use to do all the yard work. I don't want to mess these babies up. The drip has to stay clean. But I haven't done a very good job as far as keeping the lens clean now. All right. Okay. So, you're as far as I know, they're +1 on scholarships, unless someone can help me out. As far as I know, Matt Washington says not over. I think they are. They were even when the last player transferred. Am I wrong on that? Let's see. No, not. We want to look at transfers here. Well, I was going to try and pull this up. There we go. Transfer portal. Golly, this eyeball, y'all. This thing is driving me crazy. All right. I don't know. Maybe they aren't over, but as far as I know, they were over. We aren't over scholarships. Matt, you're going to have to provide me with some detail on that, buddy. I'm not saying I don't believe you. Everything I'd been told they were over. Maybe they're not. I don't know. If not, hey, more power to them, baby. We were looking at the Belmont kid if Joe went to NBA. They were looking, but that wasn't confirmed that they were necessarily going to take anybody else. So I don't know. As far as I know, they were looking, and they were looking for 2021 prospects as well, because that's what Musselman does. I think too, a lot of it is they know what they're doing, right? Like, they're not going to just they're not just going to bring Joe back and like, I'm sure Musselman was prepared for pros or cons, whatever happened. So I'm sure they're straight. They're going to be fine. I don't know if they push someone to next year, take them off scholarship for a year, or maybe they're not over. Matt Washington thinks they're not over. Tony Brown says, I thought we had one scholarship left. Maybe I'm wrong. Tyler probably knows. I'm not 100% certain, but that's what I swear that was mentioned and had been talked about. But again, maybe they're not. And hey, more power to them if they're not, baby. I'm all about it. So anyways, all right. We're going to finish it up here. That's it. Shout out to the Patreon supporters, to everyone who's donating the PayPal. I appreciate that. If you're curious about how to do that, you can check out the links down below. There's a Patreon link. It's a minimum of $4 a month. If you want to be a part of that, help out the channel. If you don't want to be a part of any monthly thing, you can donate to the PayPal. That link is provided. Also, the latest Hog Talk podcast link is down below in the description box as well. So feel free to check out those links. You guys have a good rest of your weekend. The plan is to go live between 4 and 6 p.m. on Monday, so just click the bell. Hopefully you get the notifications. Joe's back, baby. We're going to end on that fabulous note. Isaiah Joe is freaking back. Woo pig suey. Go Hogs.